dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. Students, today in Standard 10's Geography, we'll be learning the topic Human Settlements. In the 5th standard, you people already learned about the human settlements, and now in this topic we are going to talk about the human settlements or settlement patterns in India and in Brazil. When people first built settlements hundreds of years ago, they chose things which provided the 5 things they needed the most. So, while settling, the things which were considered by the humans, in that, the first thing, good defense on dry land, farmland, sheltered, fuel and building materials. We can call this as resources, natural resources, including water supply. So these are the things which are very important while settling down, and today also, not only in the history or 100 years ago, but today also while settling somewhere, people think about all these things. And then the types of human settlements, you can see here, you people already learned about this in detail. Nucleated type of human settlement, this one. Then the linear type of human settlements, dispersed human settlement. Now by the image you can understand the meaning, and you have already learned this in detail, so that no need to revise this in detail, but by the figure you can understand. Dispersed, where it is not concentrated in particular place. In linear, it is in the line. In nucleated, central somewhere at a particular place. Again, here with the help of this figure you can easily understand the settlement patterns. Now dispersed, then the linear and the nucleated. These are the roads. ये रोड के बाजू में सिर्फ कम जो सेटलमेंट है, दैट इज डिस्पर्स्ड. लीनियर जो रोड है उसमें एक लाइन में जो सेटलमेंट दिखती है, दैट इज लीनियर सेटलमेंट. एंड इन न्यूक्लिएटेड, एक ही जगह पर बहुत सारे घर होते हैं, जैसे ये है ह्यूमन सेटलमेंट. So these are the types of settlements, and after this, now you people have to answer for these questions. Figure 7.A and figure 7.1B. Now study the two types of settlement patterns in India given in figure 7.1A and 7.2B. And answer the following questions. Now here you have to answer the questions. Identify the type of settlements. This one, which type of settlement is this, and this one, which type of settlement is this. Which one is nucleated settlement and why? Then which one is dispersed settlement, what could be the reason behind it? And the last one, can you guess in which regions are these settlements located in India? Just now we people revised about the types of settlements, so that you people can answer these questions. Try to answer these questions and write down it in your notebook. Identify the types of settlements. Which one is nucleated settlement and why? Which one is dispersed settlement and what could be the reason behind it? And can you guess in which regions are these settlements located in India? About this we'll talk in detail. In India, we can see a variety of settlement patterns given the variety of climatic factors, availability of water, slope of the land, and level of development. So the first thing which we have to understand here is that in India we can see a variety of settlement: linear settlement, nucleated settlement, or sparse settlement somewhere. And this is because of the different climatic conditions or climatic factors in our country. At the same time, the availability of water is the very important thing which play an important role in human settlement. Then the slope of the land and level of development. Now, if we people are going to settle somewhere, then we'll डेफिनेटली थिंक अबाउट द क्लाइमेटिक फैक्टर्स. वहाँ का क्लाइमेट कैसा है उसके बारे में हम सोचेंगे. इज देयर वाटर, ये तो बहुत ही बेसिक थिंग है. देन द स्लोप ऑफ द लैंड एंड एट द सेम टाइम इन टूडेज वर्ल्ड level of development is very important. It includes different type of services like education, hospitality, and many more things. So while settling somewhere, humans thinks about all these things. Nucleated settlements are found throughout the plateau region of Narmada Valley, then the paddy lands in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Vindhyan Plateau, and several other cultivated parts of India. So, when we talk about nucleated settlements, these are the regions or these are the places where we find the nucleated type of settlements this way. And on the other hand, dispersed settlements are found in tribal parts, where in tribal parts covering central part of India, eastern and southern Rajasthan, Himalayan slopes, and land with dissected and uneven topography. Now, this figure is the example of dispersed settlement. This chart is given in our textbook, and in this some amenities and facilities are given. What you have to do, you can do this in your textbook. Tick, right mark is given there in the relevant column and complete the table on the basis of their presence in urban, available in villages, available in cities. That is, available in villages means in rural areas, or available in cities, that is in urban areas, and write 5 sentences on each with examples from your vicinity. Now the first thing, petrol pump. Is petrol pump is available in villages? No. So write in cities. Theater in cities. Weekly market available in cities and somewhere in villages also, somewhere. Primary health center in the cities. Police outpost, art gallery in cities. Gram Panchayat in villages, that is in rural area. Agricultural produce market committee, APMC market, is in the cities. Primary school in villages and in cities also. Senior school, that is in cities. College, shop available in villages and in cities also. Multi-speciality hospital in cities. Metro station in cities. Bus station or bus stop somewhere in villages also. In your city, in cities. So in this way you have to do this and also write down the things about this. Now next one, again the same thing like figure 7.1a and figure 7.1b, which were the examples of settlement patterns in India. And now here figure 7.2a and figure 7.2b, examples of settlement patterns in Brazil. So the first one, the lowlands of Amazon River, and the figure 7.2b, it's Sao Paulo. So in detail now we'll talk about this. In the figure 7.2a and b, you can see images of 2 settlements in Brazil. One is from the Amazon River, this one, while the other belongs to the coastal area. So what you have to do, Observe the settlement patterns carefully and name the types of settlement patterns. Write a comment on their density and types. Now, by this pattern, you can understand the type of settlement, and by this also, you can understand the type of settlement. The earlier settlements in Brazil were formed by the settlers from Europe, mainly in the coastal areas, and now the settlements have developed and are densely populated. Major regions of development of this are: coastal climate is hot and humid, and flat land is limited due to rugged topography. The region has a good water supply. So this one is the main reason behind this: good water supply and a large range of natural resources. For example, Sao Paulo. So whenever there is any kind of settlement or people thinking about settling somewhere, always keep in mind that the people basically, or the first thing in their mind is of about the natural resources. And here in Sao Paulo, though the coastal climate is hot and humid and flat land is limited due to rugged topography, the region has a good water supply and a large range of natural resources, so that one can find densely populated areas there. Sao Paulo has extensive area under rich soil. Again, the same thing. Soil, which is very important resource for agriculture, and it is available there, so which makes it ideal for growing coffee. It also has a large supply of natural minerals such as iron ore, and it also has a steady energy supply. The southeastern area has a good transport system too. Now, these are the things which are very essential or important for human settlement, and why there is nucleated type of human settlement in the Sao Paulo: because of rich soil, which makes it ideal for growing coffee. Not only this, but also it has a large supply of natural minerals and also a steady energy supply. So these are the regions of development. Then the rural areas such as the northeast, rural areas such as the northeast highlands suffer from extreme droughts. तो ऐसी जगह पे लोग रहना पसंद नहीं करेंगे जहाँ पर हर साल 2 साल बाद या 3-4 साल बाद ड्रॉट्स होते हैं, तो वहाँ पर खेती नहीं हो सकती, वहाँ पर पीने के लिए पानी नहीं हो सकता. So rural areas such as the northeast highlands suffer from extreme droughts which make it difficult for practicing agriculture. और जहाँ पर एग्रीकल्चर नहीं होगा, लोग वहाँ पर नहीं बसते हैं, नहीं रहते हैं, सेटल नहीं होते हैं. So that settlements are sparse here. Settlements become sparse as we move in towards the central part of Brazil. Area is covered by thick, dense equatorial rainforest. For this, go for this figure: rainforest in Amazon River. The climate here is unhealthy and unfit for settlement. Limitations on use and exploitation of natural resources, poor transport links in the region, and also area which is covered by thick, dense equatorial rainforest. Now these are the reasons why there is no densely populated area, or why there is kind of population which is not exactly nucleated. So these are the reasons. The climate here is unhealthy and unfit. अगर climate unhealthy और unfit रहेगा तो लोग वहाँ पर नहीं रहेंगे. Limitations on use and exploitation of natural resources. Available है ही नहीं, और अगर है तो उस पर पाबंदी लगी हुई है, लिमिटेशंस है उसे यूज़ करने में. एंड द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग, poor transport links in the region. Nowadays, transportation is very important while settling down somewhere. Now, urbanization in India. The level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population to total population. Again, I am repeating how to calculate or how to get the numbers of urbanized people in any particular country. The level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population to total population. And here is the figure 7.5. India trend of urbanization 1961 to 2011 is given, and the questions are also there. So read the graph in figure 7.5 below and answer the following questions. What was the percentage of urbanization in 1961? Here it is, 18%. In which decade was urbanization the highest? You can go for this. 2011 it is 31.2%. In which decade was the growth of urbanization lowest? Growth you have to talk about. And what inference can you draw regarding India's urbanization after reading the graph? So after reading this graph, you have to write 4 to 5 lines about this or 4 to 5 sentences about this. So here, percentage of urban population, trend of urbanization in India. So in 1961 it is 18%, in 1971 18.2, in 1981 23.3, in 1991 25.7, in 2001 27.8, and in 2011 31.2. Now in the next census we'll get the number of next decade. So this is how it's growing, but not exactly growing, we can say. It is clear from the above graph that the growth of urbanization in India has been slow. The level of urbanization in India in 2011 was 31.16, which is quite low in comparison to developed countries. And at the same time, the urban population is increasing. Expansion of the urban centers and emergence of new towns have played a significant role in the growth of urban population and urbanization in the country. It is very simple to understand. कोई एक सिटी जब बनती है बहुत सारे विलेजेस के बाजू में, तो सिटी में एम्प्लॉयमेंट फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल होती है. एम्प्लॉयमेंट की वजह से विलेज से लोग वहाँ पर माइग्रेट हो जाते हैं और सिटी में पॉपुलेशन बढ़ जाता है. So development in the cities play a very important role in increasing the number of people or number of population in the urban area. Urbanization has been more in the southern part than in the northern part in India. Now the Goa is the most urbanized state with 62% population living in urban areas. Next to that, Delhi is more than 80% urban, and in the state of Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Kerala, urbanization is more. Now if we talk about the Mumbai only, तो बहुत सारा पॉपुलेशन जो है महाराष्ट्र को वो मुंबई में है, तो अर्बनाइजेशन का परसेंटेज उसी की वजह से बढ़ जाता है. हिमाचल प्रदेश, जम्मू कश्मीर, उत्तराखंड, बिहार, राजस्थान are some of the states with low levels of urbanization. So these things you people keep in mind. And now the next point, urbanization in Brazil. Look at this table it shows the growth of share of urban population in total population of Brazil. And by using this information, what you have to do? Draw a line graph from this table and examine the graph carefully and then answer the questions which are given here. In 1960, percentage of urban population in Brazil was 47.1. In 1970, it was 56.8. In 1980, 66%. In 1990, 74.6. In 2000, 81.5, and in 2010, 84.6. Now, if we people compare this with our country, then in 1961 it was 18% only in our country, and in 2011 it is 31.16. So just try to understand the difference between the percentage of urban population of Brazil and India. Now the questions: what is the interval of the data? In which period did urbanization occur rapidly? And write 5 sentences analyzing the graph. When you people will draw a line graph, then analyze it. So Brazil is one of the few developing countries which is highly urbanized. Brazil's substantial urban growth process is unique and one of the underlying factors contributing to its present day rapid economic growth. Today, about 86% of Brazil population lives in an urban area. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग जो है ब्राज़ील के 86% वो अर्बनाइज्ड है, शहरों में रहते हैं, और ओनली 40% जो बचे हैं वो फिर अलग अलग जगहों पे रूरल एरियाज में रहते हैं. These people who are living in urban area play a very important role in the development of the country. Now, when we talk about the urbanization in Brazil, then the urban is not very clear. In Brazil, rapid urbanization happened mainly in the south and southeast, with Sao Paulo emerging as a major metropolitan and industrial state. Looking at this growth in few parts of the country, the government is promoting go west, क्योंकि उस पर्टिकुलर एक एरिया में ही लोग ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रहने के लिए जा रहे हैं. न्यूक्लिएटेड टाइप ऑफ पॉपुलेशन जो है बढ़ रहा है, तो हो सकता है कि वहाँ पे जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस है उस पर स्ट्रेस आ जाए. सो दैट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ब्राज़ील is promoting go west policy, which will reduce pressure on few areas where population is concentrated and will reduce regional imbalance in the country. This one is the map, figure 7.6, percentage of urban population of Brazil. What you have to do, this type of map is called choropleth. So this choropleth map of Brazil showing the state-wise urban population of Brazil. You people answer the questions. Which state or region in Brazil is the most urbanized? For this you can use this index and this color. This area. Then the next one, which state or region is the least urbanized? And now for that, go to this. Now if we people observe this map, urbanization has occurred more in the coastal states here. In the coastal states than the states in the interior of the country. If we talk about this area, states like Sao Paulo, Goiás, Minas areas have more urban population than states in the north. As population is less in Amazon basin and Brazilian highlands, urbanization is also less. In this part, Manaus is a port on the confluence of the Negro and the Amazon. So urbanization has occurred here. So in today's topic, we people discussed about the examples of settlement patterns in India and the examples of settlement patterns in Brazil. And by this, we discussed about the settlement patterns in both the countries, and at the same time, we discussed about the concept of urbanization in India and urbanization in Brazil.
Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.